Basil, what does it do? It's a flavor enhancer that enhances the flavor of any food that you put it on. Where does it come from? India and Southeast Asia. It's a leafy green herb. Why do we have it? Because people wanted a better flavor that looks like a leafy green herb that looks like spinach, but it's not spinach, but it makes food taste a lot bit greater than spinach. It's basil. If you or a loved one have ever bought basil in the past 100 years, you may be titled to great spice on your pizza or whatever food you put basil on. This stuff will fight for your taste on your tongue. Have a wall with every other spice on the rack. So now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to confuse basil with spinach because they look eerily similar. Alright, show pictures of side by side. See? They look very similar, right? And can you tell the difference? No, you can't. You cannot tell the difference. Which one's spinach, which one's basil? Who the heck knows? So I've helped develop this acronym to remember BASIL. Okay? BASIL. Breaking apart system intellectuals later. If you remember that acronym, you will remember basil forever. You don't want to remember spinach because spinach is gross. We want basil or, oh, it smells good. Remember LISAB, okay? Remember basil, LISAB. LISAB. That LISAB is basil backwards. LISAB is basil backwards. Words said from a man who can't tell the difference between spinach and basil. So I put what I thought was basil on my margarita pizza for Thanksgiving. I put spinach on it. So I messed up. I bought spinach instead of basil because they looked eerily similar, and I found out the hard way. But basil is way better than spinach because basil actually has a flavor. Spinach does not. Spinach is just green because it wants to be. Basil has a purpose of being green and has a taste and a smell, and it's actually used as a spice enhancer, flavor enhancer, used for many things. You can get it in a little little glass jar, and it's great. You can sprinkle it on anything and it'll taste good. You can even buy the plants and you can even grow it, just like me. I'm a gardener. I like plants. I have plants, so I'm going to grow some basil. Get some basil. Basil. LISAB. Break apart system intellectuals later. That's what it is. That's what it's about. Okay? So, that's pretty good. Pretty great, right? Yes. No spinach. Yes, basil. Say yes to basil. Say no to spinach. You'll have a grand old time. Peace out.